Friends, I want to tell you about a platform I built called webwidgets.io, which is a tool for building low-code web applications. You may have heard of low-code or no-code systems before. These are basically tools that allow you to create software, but without writing a whole lot of code. This is a very attractive proposition because writing code is hard. But a lot of these platforms come with a really serious downside, which is lock-in. Lock-in is what happens when a company or a person wants to invest a lot of time and money in building an application on top of a platform that's provided by a third-party company. Could be Google, could be Amazon, could be Microsoft, or many other platform providers. What tends to happen is that after you make this big investment in building an important application for your company, you are then prevented. It becomes very difficult for you to migrate off of that platform if you have a reason to do so in the future. And the platform providers tend to encourage this problem of lock-in because it helps their bottom line. So there's a couple of reasons why lock-in is bad. One is that you might have to pay more money in the future. If you're locked into a platform and they decide they want to increase the prices, you don't have a lot of good options. This is an example from Airtable, which is a low-code hosting provider. They doubled their prices because their VC backers decided they needed to get more money out from their investment. So if you're locked in, it's bad. This is actually a technical term in the technical world. What this means is that platforms often get worse and worse over time. A good example is Facebook. If any of you used Facebook in the early days, it was actually quite nice. It was very clean and simple and easy to use, but it got worse and worse over time until now it's a pretty poor experience. So if you're on a platform that's getting worse and worse over time and you're locked in, you pretty much just have to accept that. And finally, another problem that's related but different in important ways is that you might outgrow the low-code environment. So imagine you build an application when your company is small and you have modest ambitions. Then your company grows, you hire more employees, you make more money. Now the application has to get more and more complex. And at some point, you might not be able to meet all your needs because you're in a low-code environment. Now, to explain how WebWidgets protects you from lock-in, I'm just going to give a quick diagram of how these apps are set up. On the left is your front end, which is the custom code for your app. It's got HTML, JavaScript, all standard web technologies. On the right is the WebWidgets hosting platform that has your database in a SQLite file. And the platform allows the front end to talk to the database and update it directly. Now, the first layer of protection is that we have an open source version of the code that you can use. Let's say you become dissatisfied with the hosting service we provide. Maybe we're charging too much money. Maybe you don't like the customer support. You can take your app, all of the front-end code, take your database. You can always access your data, install the open source version on your servers, and then you're now running your app in exactly the same way as you were before, except now you don't have to pay us any money. You don't have to deal with our customer support. You don't have to talk to us at all. And the second protection is from this problem of outgrowing the low-code environment. Here, what you're doing, it's the same as before, except you're migrating your app, you're migrating your data, but now you're implementing your own backend. All you have to do is implement those same REST API endpoints so that your front-end code can talk to the backend in the same way it previously talked to WebWidgets. The point of doing that is now you control the back end. You can have cron jobs, you can have complex SQL queries, you can have caching. once you've achieved this, you've now migrated away from the low code platform and low code environment. You can do whatever you want. So you've preserved the original investment you've made and migrated to this new open-ended development phase. I hope you will consider building for the future with WebWidgets.io. Thank you very much.